It's a pretty happy feeling you get when you've sort of got your projects caught up. I didn't expect to get this truck, but I did, and I have gotten it running. And it needs things, but they're not harsh things, like I want to put windshield wipers on it, and I've got some. I've washed the outside, but I want to wash the inside, wash all the windows. I've got some badly faded out paint, you can see right here. And I got some car wax, so I'm going to try waxing this. And I needed it to be in the shade to do that, because you don't want to do that in the hot sun. So I put it down here inside the little building where the camper sits, to kind of keep it out of the weather. One of the sweetest things that comes about when you've got a project like this that you've been messing with is the day where you can just get in it and turn the key and crank it. And if you've ever, rebuilt an engine, you know that you build an engine and then you play with the tuning and the timing and all this stuff, and then you splash a little gas down into the carburetor to get it to crank, and that's all part of the process. It's really sweet when you're at the place where you don't really have to do anything like that. You just hit the switch and she starts right up. I think that's where this is. It was cranking good yesterday, but it sat all night, so I'm gonna hit the key and see if she starts. I have a thing here that is blowing out air, and I don't know why or where that would normally go to, it was overheating yesterday, and I wanted to flush the radiator. I put some water in here to see if it would leak out, and it still has water in it, so I know it'll hold water. I'm not sure if Bobby even had antifreeze in this. I remember maybe that was, I can't remember if that was him or if it was Rusty Acres, but I remember one of these southern boys, it might have been Rusty Acres, who said he didn't worry about antifreeze because it never got cold enough to freeze. Well, that sounds more like it could have been Rusty Acres. But what I'll probably do, since it's overheated, is drain out whatever is in the radiator and pour some of that. They make some chemicals that are flush. Use them to flush your radiator. You pour them in there with some water and run them a while. I might get some of those and drain that out and do that. I had some noises coming from the motor, but I was actually thinking about, before I get too excited about those, I might pour some what's they call that stuff? Seafoam. I might just put some seafoam right in the oil and run it a while. See if that changes things. Let's see what she sounds like this morning. Oh, the joy. I don't know why I'm pumping the gas that don't have a carburetor. I might need to splash a little gas down in there to get it to crank. Well, you can hear them pumps running, can't you? She's going to need a little ether. No need running the battery down with that. We can do that when we're ready to move it up to the house. But now we know we don't get that satisfaction place. But we'll keep messing with it till we do. Oh, the joy. The engine actually sounds better today, and let me explain what I mean by that. Yesterday it was sounding clankety and clunkety and knocking-ish, as though it had some loose rocker arms or some lifters that wasn't working. And today that noise is cleared up, which is a good thing, because if that noise clears up, then I stop thinking about mechanical fixes as much as ignition and firing and things of that nature. Now today it wouldn't crank without a shot of ether, but with a little shot of ether it did crank up immediately and very quickly. I have this flat that I fixed the other day, the one that had the leak around the rim. Well, it's going flat again, so apparently I didn't find all the leaks. I'm going to pull that one off again, take it back there, do the same thing all over again, and keep doing that till I get that leak fixed. The other thing I want to do is drain the radiator, because I want to flush the radiator. So if I drain out, if there's any antifreeze in there, I don't want to drain that into the ground. I want to save that. So if I can get up under the front end and find a, usually in older radiators they'll have a bolt or a faucet or a something, whatever you call it, that you can open and it'll let the water out. I'd like to do that. And then what I'll do is I'll come back, fill it up with water, and they make these various flush chemicals that you can run through your radiator to clean it out. I noticed there was some little pieces of rust floating in the radiator water when I looked down in there yesterday. I bought a can of antifreeze here, but I didn't yet because I wanted to, I might have put a drop or two, but I wanted to see if this was going to leak. It's not leaking, but it's also not cooling. Now that could be a couple things. It could be the radiator. It could also be the water pump. But, you know, I've got enough things to fix here so that I can take them one at a time. So I'll start with fixing that tire, draining the radiator, and then we'll go from there. I also have a hose on the engine that I want to call cutworm about. I'll show you what it is. Under this hood, there's a tube right here. And this tube blows air through this hole on the end. You can put your hand over it and you can feel it. Now it looks like there's a bunch of stuff here. I don't even know what is what to all this. But I might ask Cutworm about that later. We'll see, one thing at a time. This is the new solenoid switch I put in it yesterday, and these are the new wires here. Now this car already had a ground wire that runs to the engine block, but it was really not well attached on this end. So I got a new wire. I ran this new wire to the body of the truck. I left this wire on here, but I put a better end on the end of it, and I attached it here. Since I have these little wing nut things on this one, I can get a ground from there and from here. And there's another ground right here. I don't even know what this thing goes to, but because it is a ground wire, I can ignore those naked wires for now. What I can do is get some paint on insulation and paint onto that, and I might even have some. I did put about a half a can of seafoam in the oil. We'll let that run in there and see how it does. So I think the very first thing I'll do is go on the ground here, see if I can find that drain, and get a pan out here and get it started draining while I work on that back tire, and then we'll get back with you. Appreciate you. By the way, the truck, yesterday I didn't have power steering. I got me a can of that Lucas power steering treatment, put it in the power steering pump, and she drives perfectly now. The power brakes work good. The air conditioner sounds like it's trying to work, and it blows out air. I don't know if I'd say it was cold or not. I also don't know, you know, there was a time when the antifreeze, the Freon was bad for the environment, and they developed a new type of Freon. I'm not sure what this thing has in it for Freon, whether the new style or the old style. If it's the new style, it's probably pretty easy just to top it, just to get a mechanic to top off the air conditioning. If it's the old style, I'm not sure what they have to do. They may have to change it and flush it and do a bunch of stuff, but we'll follow up on that as we get to it. I'm seeing all kind of places that could use some more pressure washing. Like there's literally dirt out here under the hood and pine straw, and plenty of rust that I could wash off with a pressure washer here. And over here in this fender well, it's full of dirt and pine straw. All that could be washed all up in here and everything. So plenty here to keep me busy. And there's a little cool breeze blowing in the air, which is a big improvement over all that heat that we've had lately. Now I was thinking about asking Cutworm about if there's a choke on this thing, because this morning it wouldn't crank unless I put some Freon in it. But if there was a choke, this would be it. I don't think that's a choke, but you never know. It could be. I mean, I'm sure this is the throttle, because I've seen it move when I mash it. But there may be an electronic choke somewhere here that's built into that. It probably is. Okay, let me stop talking, do a little work. Love y'all, appreciate you.